Hi, this is Brian McKnight, and come check me out at The Hang. I've really gotten away from playing keyboards. I played a lot of guitar in this record, and I think that the live show will really incorporate that this time. The last time we went out, I played bass on stage, and that's really my most favorite instrument to play. Only problem with it is I can't really play and sing at the same time. I haven't really worked that out yet, but I can play guitar and sing at the same time. So this time they'll start to see it. But once again, I mean, I think that what people mostly like to see, or especially, my audience is 80% women, is just to get up there and sing. When I was younger, I had a real attitude of I wanted to show everybody everything I could do. That's why the record sounded the way that they did. There was a real, organic musical thing happening then with me that I wanted to put jazz on the record. I wanted to put all the different loves of music that I had on each record to show people that I was way ahead of my 19 years, where, at least for then, it may have been over the heads of a lot of people. But I was glad to be at a place where the record company really stood up and said, no, we're going to make this happen. And they did. As I've gotten older, I see that was good to do for then, but now you really have to back that up with record sales and lots of other things. Even though the sales were there then, it's like now you want more, you want more. And what Anytime showed me was that, I could still have some of those elements of the things I wanted, but you still have to come with hit after hit after hit. When you grow up singing in church, you learn how to get all the emotion you can out of what you're singing about, and as it relates to the audience that you're dealing with, because you're trying to touch people. And I haven't changed the way I think about it from that perspective. I mean, I think that every time I get behind a microphone, there's somebody out there that needs to hear what I'm going to say. Somebody who may be going through that particular thing at that time who needs to hear and be comforted by what I'm going to say, even if it wasn't a specific situation where I can say I've been in that situation. I try to make it personal so that the listener can take it personal too. Why would I want to play ball like the guys who sit the bench? I want to play and have a pad in my game after Michael Jordan. So that's the kind of mindset you take as a musician. It's the same way guitar players in the 80s wanted to be Eddie Van Halen. They wanted to be those guys because those are the guys that could really play. It's the same thing when you're talking about piano players, Art Tatum, Oscar Peterson, on through Thelonious Monk, and all those guys who were really deep and had, these really big brains that most people couldn't understand when they heard it. You listen to Thelonious Monk and he will give you the same kind of brain meltdown that Rachmaninoff did for The Kid in Shine. I mean, it'll give you that same kind of thing if you really get deep with it, because music is still probably the most, it's the art form that can get to you the most, because there's no visual, really. I mean, videos give you that somewhat, but when you're all alone in your room and you're listening to that song that really gets to you, there's nothing in the world that can touch you like that. When you listen to like Luther sing, it's a beautiful voice, and it's nice and I don't want to say soft, but it's more of a whisper in your ear kind of thing. Where when you hear Stevie, it's really like powerful and like James Ingram, like power. And those are the guys I tend to lean towards because they can do both. The analogy I use is that I didn't even own a keyboard till I had a record deal, so I had to learn to play on a piano. I had to learn to play on a guitar, as opposed to, let me get that guitar patch and put that in the synthesizer and learn. It's different. It's, playing drums and programming drums as a drummer, as opposed to programming drums as a keyboard player, is a completely different situation. You still use the tool, but you don't use it like a person who has no idea what it is to actually sit there and play a drum set. So it's completely different. I would say that it's important if you want a career. If you want success right now, to get you a couple of drum machines, put together some beats, and you can do that now. I don't know how long that's going to last you, but if you're looking for that quick overnight, I want it right now, then there's a ways to do that too. If you want to be here 10, 15 years, I suggest that you either take some lessons and learn to play, or at least have a foundation.